All right, so this is a look at the Waykar dehumidifier that we've got here. I'm gonna go through some of the functionality. I'm gonna tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and how to actually use this thing. So this is gonna be a dehumidifier if you're needing to keep maybe like a basement, a bedroom, a living room, anything dry. If it's too humid in your house, you don't want mold, you just need that humidity to go down, you're gonna want one of these. So this one specifically is gonna work for a 2,000 square foot space or smaller. So it works for a really big space. So if you're looking for something that's gonna cover a lot of space area, then this is great. If you've got like a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment, this should cover the whole thing. But let's go ahead and look at some of the settings up here at the top. So you can see there is an on button. Then you have this dehumidifier button right there, which most people are buying this for the function of using the dehumidifier. Then we've got dry and we've got continuous. Continuous is going to keep the room at a 30% humidity level. So it doesn't have any adjustability on the continuous, but on the dehu setting, you can actually change how wet or how dry you want the room to be. Over here is the fan setting, so it's got a low and high setting, and then it's got a timer here, so we can click that timer. We can set it for a certain number of minutes. So maybe we want it for 9 minutes, we could just set it right there and it'll go for 9 minutes. Otherwise, you can basically just leave it on and it's gonna keep going until this tank fills up right here. So this tank, if I go ahead and let me turn it off and I'm gonna pull this tank off, you can see this is what the tank looks like. And here's the sizing of it. So here on the inside, you can see right now it's about halfway full. So we would need to dump this out pretty soon. But this is using the actual tank that is on here. Now there's also another function where we can connect this to a drain as well. So if you come back behind here, you can see there's a plug on the back and it's gonna come with this hose. So if you wanted to connect this down into a drain, it's really easy. All you gotta do is hook this on and then you can put this down in a drain. Now here it does show you a little graphic there. It says make sure that this is not tangled up, or if it's up like that, it's not gonna drain properly. You wanna make sure that this is laying all the way down. That way it actually drains all the way out. But if you do wanna use the tank that comes with it, it'll go ahead and keep running until the tank gets full, and then it'll go ahead and automatically turn off. So you don't have to worry about this overflowing or anything like that. Now over here on the back end, because it's gonna be using pulling the air in, it also is gonna have a filter here on the back. So you can see ours is getting a little bit dirty, so we should go ahead and just clean that off. All you gotta do is bring it into the sink, spray it down, clean it off, nice and easy, and that's gonna filter everything that goes into the dehumidifier. Then up here at the top part, this is gonna be where the air is gonna come out. So once it dehumidifies the air, it's gonna push that air back out at the top. So let's go ahead and drain this out real quick. We'll bring this over here to the sink and it's nice and easy. All you've got to do, just take this, pour it out. And then what I like to do is I'll actually just clean this out a little bit. We don't want this to get nasty or moldy, gooey or anything like that. So I'll kind of just empty that out. Nice and easy. Bring it back over here and it just snaps into place like this. Another place that people use this a lot are going to be in their closet. So they could use this to potentially even like dry your clothes. I've seen that as well. On the manual here, it's got an option. So if you go with the dry mode, you can actually dry your clothes with it. The dehu says it dehumidifies your space on humid days. And then like I said before, the continuous is going to just maintain a 30% humidity automatically. And that's kind of just like a comfortable level that most people like. But if you need, maybe you're living in an area like, let's say Florida, and you really need to get that humidity down, you can change this to a higher setting and it'll go ahead and work on dehumidifying the space that you're in. Now we use this in one of our rooms that we have a lot of clothing and electronics in, so we don't want anything to get messed up, anything moldy in there, so having this dehumidifier is a big help. And just to give you like a bit of a size reference, I'll go ahead and put it down here on the ground where most people are going to have it. You can see It packs a powerful punch for such a small device. It's going to cover up to 2,000 square feet, and you can see it's only about up to my knee. So a very small device, and then it also is going to have a 6-foot cable as well, which I really like. So you can go ahead and move this around on the wheels that it comes with, and it's nice and portable. It does have a handle up here on top, so if you do need to move this from one room to another, it makes it nice and easy. So if you're looking for a nice dehumidifier that's going to cover a lot of space, pack a big punch, and have a lot of setting options, then I would definitely recommend picking one of these up.